Good evening. Good evening to everyone. Give you all a second to come in and we'll spend just a little bit of time talking about the things that were said today. As you come in, feel free to share, as I'm quite aware that you all are waiting on what I have to say. Of course, some of it has already been said by way of my phone call, which one part came out earlier, the second part came out about an hour ago. There's still a part that has not come out, but we'll have notes. But we're going to play it anyway. We're going to play it and pause it to talk part by part, because these people are crazy. And crazy to the point that I can't even pause to be rattled by the things that were said. First of all, because there are so many contradictory things that were said in the midst of that phone call. All right, so let's start with the fact that about three days ago or so, a letter was addressed to me, and I took the letter and I put handcuffs on it, and I did a voiceover of myself reading the Miranda rights, not because I was necessarily talking about anybody going to jail per se, but, and certainly please, if you have any questions, feel free to ask, because I said to us on day one or day two, whichever, no, it would have been day one, Saturday night when I got home, sat in the same spot, we have nothing to hide on our end. Me, the individuals who have come out and spoke on their own behalf, I think I've been very, very vocal. And it seems that every time the folk over there at Have Faith have an opportunity to make a shot of some sort, it seems that they put the ball in my net every single time. So in any case, you'll remember the letter. And on the letter, I did the voiceover of me reading the Miranda rights, mostly because of that first line, you have the right to remain silent. Now, we're not demanding that anyone remain silent. That's not my demand to make. But if it is the case that you're going to speak, it would be very nice if you didn't say such ugly things. Now I get it that folks are getting antsy and all of that. I fully understand that. But the fact of the matter is, still, there are some things that just should not be said. All right, so let's go to the page with this call, and we'll play it, and we'll talk over each part. Let's see here. All right. Turn my phone up so that you all can hear. It's playing an ad.
For just $40 a month. Keep every room connected with fast, reliable fiber.
Okay. So let's run that all the way back to the beginning. Good evening. Share. Let everyone know that we're on. Let them know we're talking about this call. And we're going to go ahead and jump right in. Those who come in a little later can catch up with what they missed later on. Hold on 1 second. Let me do this. Okay. And I have my little notes, but I do want to play the call so that we can pull it straight from the footage itself. All right. So first and foremost, this individual who I was not aware of, Ure Boise, I guess it's pronounced. I was not aware of who he was or his platform or what have you until today. But he calls Tyrone Brusford Sr., right? And now, I don't think that any of us are oblivious to what has been going on over the past few days. I think we are all quite clear that I mean, I know I'm not playing. I don't think those to whom have come out and who have said the things that they have said are playing. And please share it, because this is, this is all we dealing with, the whole thing, all encompassing. It's interesting that the first thing he does when this influencer acknowledges what he's calling for is he laughs, right? Because to me, first of all, that already tells me that you're not taking this very serious at all. That it doesn't mean anything to you. And I mean, at the end of the day, you take it as serious as you do or don't want to take it. But there are people who are really hurt. There are people who are really they have a lot of emotions that they're working through. They're trying to figure things out. So to laugh after this young man says that you have his grandmother in there, and that you all are a cult, it speaks to the insensitivity just from the get-go. But let's go ahead.
You got to be real, man. Let me tell you what happened. Number one, that same young man, I pretty much helped raise that boy.
He pretty much helped raise him.
His grandmother been living in the church house for over 30-something years.
All right. Let me.
That's right.
Now, okay. First of all, the house in which my grandmother lives has not been there 30 years. Grandma has not even been in South Carolina 30 years. So we starting off wrong already. All right? I'm 35 years old. And I can assure you that house was not there when as a matter of fact, we can go further. We were not even in Alcaloo 30 years ago. At 5 years old, I believe I was still in New York at that time, I do believe. Because I think I was 6. We moved here in 1998, November of 98. No, I was 7 when we moved here. So at 30 years ago, I was still a kid running around in New York. All right? So that's the first thing that's off. So let's play. All right. Now, so he said, I used to take money, and then these awful allegations in regards to my siblings. Now, first of all, let's do the take money, then we'll go to that. Now, if we just established that, and let me back up, I left Alcaloo at 18 years old. My grandmother was still living in New York when I ran away from here. All right? That was December 23rd, 2009 when I left from there. And my husband said he thought that it was 92. Thought that what was 92. I don't. He said he thought it was 92. I can't now. Ella Johnson and them came down. Dwayne Johnson came down in 95. They would have came down in 96 or so, and we came down in 98 because my baby sister was born in 97, and she was not 1 year old when she was not yet 1 year old when we came to South Carolina. All right, so my grandmother's in New York. I'm living in South Carolina, and I'm a kid. Oh, yeah, no, it wasn't 92. They came a little later than that because Ella Johnson was the first one to come. And he came, he bought the red van and then moved down here. The red van that he drove was a 1995 model. So that's how I know it was 95, 96, somewhere up in there. 96 might be a little later. I think it was more 95 when Johnson came. And if I remember correctly, your husband came a year after Johnson, and one by one, different ones came over the years. But in any case, we came in 98. Now, I was a child in the half-faith deal. I left at 18. And from the time I was 7 until the time I was 18, I was in Alcaloo, South Carolina. The blue and white van came later. That came later, Mrs. Green. That came well later after the red and the other van. Now, I left at 18. She's in New York. The church, okay, so let's go back. In 1996, because I got to give you the history for it to make sense. In 1996, my grandmother had a man that she lived with that was not her husband, but the church thought they were married until the church found out that they were not married and his first wife was still living. So for years, they had called my grandmother Sister Hunt. Until they found out that she was not married, then they started calling her by her name, Sister White, and she moved into the house that Elder Johnson vacated when he moved to South Carolina. He had a home that he owned in Bellport, New York on Pace Avenue. She moved into that house in 1996 and began paying Elder Johnson rent. Now at this time, remember, I'm 5 years old because I know I was born in 1991. All right? Now, we moved to South Carolina, I'm 7, and I left at 18, and Grandma was still living in New York. In 2002, the church took over Grandma's money because they found out she was sending money down to her mother. And Dwayne Johnson's oldest sister became her manager, her financial manager, or what have you. So, how in the world could I, as a kid, be taking my grandmother's money? There's another aspect of his story that is disputed. Now, let me play so we can hear what he said so that I can then deal with what he said exactly in regards to my sibling. And because of the fact that this has been said, I'm going to be a little personal in regards to what I have to say about that. Hold on a minute, that's the second video. I'm going to be a little personal on what I have to say about that just for the sake of underscoring the point. That's my video. Let me find. Okay, he said, let me run it back now.
For 30-something years, right? She knows how he is.
She knows how I am.
She knows how he used to take her money.
I used to take her money.
Have sex with his brothers.
All right, he said, I used to engage with my brothers, S on the end. I only have one brother. So, I don't know where the others would come from. There's only one brother. Let's go further, and then I'll deal with my position on that allegation. Then he says I almost impregnated my sister. First of all, again, let me deal with. First of all, these are ridiculous allegations, and I did post earlier. Monday. I will be filing suit because this is slander and defamation. But first, when we moved to Alcaloo, we didn't even live in the same home. my brother and I were in his house. Remember, he said he practically raised me? But the other thing is, I did not even begin to engage in that type of activity until college. And I was not living in my mother's house at all. So there would be some conflicts there, because in order for you to almost or try to impregnate someone, there has to be certain types of activity going on. And I didn't do any of that until college. So again, here we have this smear campaign, and your details are off. One, these are awful things to say. Two, and the other thing is, now the question was asked on the lives concerning sexual assault and all of that, and I said, to my knowledge, there have not been any. And yet the allegation that you all want to come when you finally, well, I guess he didn't know the man was recording, but that's not our problem, because you ought to know what to get on the phone and say. The first thing you want to drop in my lap is a sexual allegation, and then something this scandalous. Well, back up. I thought you practically raised me. So if you practically raised me and I had all of these issues, and we didn't even get to the fullness. We still only about a minute and 23 seconds into the phone call. All right. So one brother, he said, brothers impregnate my sister. I didn't lose virginity until I was in college. That's an awful thing to say. Trying to take my grandmother's money. And so there's one of my sisters. She said, what sister is he talking about being pregnant? I won't even get into the fullness of that, because you've seen my other sister in regards to what she had to say about it. She said, don't bring allegations and don't be saying these things if you don't have proof. Shut up. She didn't say that, but she said it. She said in her way. And now my other sister is asking, what sister is he talking about being pregnant? Now, you've heard from both of my sisters. My brother's antisocial, but I'm almost sure it wouldn't be hard to get him to come and say this is not something that happened. Now, Tyrone Brusford Sr. has all of this stuff that he said so far that has not checked out. But we're going to play the video and let him speak for himself and let the video do the talking. All right. Let me run it back so you can hear that. Tried to blow up Manning School back in the day. Seemed like to me, if I tried to blow up Manning School, there would be paperwork somewhere. So what I'm going to do for y'all, I know the truth, but what I'm going to do for y'all, I'm going to contact Clarendon County School District 2. And I'm going to ask them to produce anything where I tried, does Tyrone Sr. have a sister? Yes, he does have a sister. I think he has two. Okay, so you see my other sister saying that it's a lie. I didn't even talk to her today. Now, I'm sure they've seen the video. I'm quite sure a lot of us have seen the video. But, yes, Tyrone Sr. has a sister. And Kenya Kane says, how you almost get someone pregnant. He should have thought before he got on that phone and started running his mouth saying crazy stuff. That's outrageous. Then almost, or went to blow up Manning School. I was an honor student. One, let's start there. And I got in trouble for talking, and that'll come out on the third part of my phone call with you. Because when I was tagged in the video and began to hear these things, I put the comment on the video and said, call me. I'm here. Let's talk. The other thing is, I invited these people to speak as vocally as I'm speaking, to be as loud as I am. And now, not one time have they had an attorney prepare a statement. Not one time have they gone live and said anything. I even invited them to my platform to deal with these things that they feel. Because remember, it was already said that I'm lying. It was already said that I'm doing this for attention. Well, here we go. That lie, he is saying about you is top-notch narcissistic behavior. I'm shocked that you have him saying that. I'm gag literally. So I don't think he knew, Kayla, I don't think he knew that he was being recorded. I don't think he knew that he was being recorded, because I would hope that no fool would have themselves on record for saying that about somebody that they practically raised. I just would hope not. But, you know, different strokes, different folks. But we have already debunked. We have already debunked 3 things. So we have this taking money, we have these illicit activities, and then we have blew up the school, or tried to blow up the school. Now let me deal with where that comes from. I wrote a suicide letter in 9th or 10th grade. Maybe it was 10th grade, because that was my last year there. And that wording, that ideology came from Dwayne Johnson Sr., who said that Manning High School didn't want me there after I wrote that suicide letter because they felt that I would come back and try to blow up the school. Well, years later, I went back and spoke to the guidance counselor, and she said nothing like that was ever said. And he's the second in command. So let me make this abundantly clear. This phone call was second in command for the Have Faith organization. We'll talk about why that's important in a bit. Let me play the video, and we'll go from there. Try now. The word, I'm sorry, forgive me. I use people's words to talk for. I'm just going based on his word. Tried to blow up Manning schools means there was an active attempt to commit this act. Well, where's the police report? Where is the record of this? If this is the case, I mean, I got classmates that are all around. I need someone from Manning High School to come and talk to me about, now, we can talk about some things that I know that I did at Manning High School. I talked a lot. I got in trouble for stealing the test from the teacher and getting the answers. I took a laptop from the library without asking. All of those are things that I did. Tried to blow up the school? Absolutely not. As I said, I don't have anything. See, you don't come to these kinds of fights if you know you got to hide things, and you don't do that. So the reason why I can stand flat-footed is because of the fact that, all right, so he said I had all kind of stupid problems. All kind of stupid problems. He says that at 1 minute and 32 seconds in the video. I had all kinds of stupid problems. And let me also say, on day 1 of all of this, someone texted him and said, what is this that I'm hearing about your business being affiliated with a cult? And he said, mentally ill young man. I heard about that. I don't have time to follow up with foolishness. If I'm so mentally ill and I had all kinds of stupid problems, why did I not go to mental health but one time when I wrote the letter, and then they weaseled me out of the appointments? They had set me up, mental health had set me up to see them weekly. I only went one time, and after that I was beat for writing the suicide letter and asked, do I want to die? Do I still want to die? And at which point, Dwayne Johnson said, now Tyrone Brussel wasn't a part of this part of it. Dwayne Johnson said, I got the gun and we can go in the woods. You already wrote the letter. So mental health was prepared to see me. Now you allege that I'm mentally ill and just said I had all kinds of stupid problems, but you practically raised me. Well, sir, I hate to throw the ball back in your court, but if I had all kinds of stupid problems, maybe you was the stupid premier problem. My thing is how he says he's not going to tear us on. Yeah, we getting to that. We getting to that because that's the next piece of it. All right, pause, because that's why you're listening to Tyrone Brusford Sr., the second in command for Have Faith et al. All of the whole thing. Now, he said all of a sudden. Now, I need y'all to remember that, and we'll come back to the fact that he said, now, someone come and get me when I'm talking for myself. He said, how all of a sudden? Let me play it.
You want to come out
coming to all about. We're gonna talk about all of a sudden in a minute. First, he said I've been coming to all of their events. I've not been to Alcaloo, South Carolina since the last event that I went to was in 2022. It was a breast cancer awareness event, and I paid $75 to go. And I only did that on the strength of my mother and grandmother because they had a certain number of tickets they had to sell. And at the time, they were kind of letting us come around. But let me also reference that event because it was at that event that Dwayne Johnson first approached me about signing my paid-off church and my paid-off house over to him. All right? So don't come talking about I went to all your... Oh, and let's go. Before that, I hadn't had been to anything in about 10 years. All right, so let's talk. The way that we even got hooked back up, in 2021, right at the pandemic time, I've told y'all this little $500 Ponzi scheme came out. And I got a phone call from Faith Johnson asking about contributing the $500 and go get 2 people and whatever. And I said I wouldn't give y'all $5, much less $500. To which she said, well, why are you always upset? What is your, well, everything, even when you used to come around, you always had a chip on your shoulder. I said, why wouldn't I have a chip on my shoulder? One, y'all don't want me there. And then she said, hold on a minute. Who said that? Anytime anyone leaves, the word is you got to get permission from the pastor in order. Okay, and my sister said I came to her graduation in 2013. So from 2013 to 2021, I hadn't had gone to anything. And from 2021 to now, I've not been back to anything. So how am I coming to all of their events? And then he goes on to say, eating up all their food. Sir, I wouldn't want to eat. I wouldn't drink a cold glass of water if I was in the middle of the Sahara Desert from you all. If I was standing at the door of hell, I wouldn't want a cold glass of water from y'all. He said, I just been to the cancer event. The cancer event was in 2022. That's coming up on 4 years ago. So how did I just been when me and my mother actually were not even speaking since they were not able to come to my graduation in 2023? Now, I don't have a degree in math, but 23 is the year that all of this fell apart. So 24, 25, 26, that's 3 years. How did I just been to an event and I wasn't even talking to y'all? He said, I said a lot of things. Now that proves that they've been watching the videos. Yet, and if they've been watching the videos, I have given them several opportunities to come to my live if you want to, or to do your own, because clearly you have Facebook. He said a lot of things. You heard him say it. So that means they're well aware of everything. And I need to say this, I'm not the only one talking. Fine, let's go this way before we even play the video again. Suppose I am lying. Suppose I am just making up. What about all of the other people who have come out and said, I seen, I heard, I experienced, I was beat? What about all those other people? So he said a lot of things. Clearly you're watching. I've already seen Kitty's bounce house on my TikTok. All right? So all this opportunity, tomorrow will be 7 days. He said, if you tell my dark secrets, everyone will get off the internet and won't listen to me. Well, you don't have to listen to me. Listen to everybody else. Because are you going to come up with these salacious, scandalous things for everybody? Huh? Now, well, let's play the video.
You never cried. He got his mother. The grandmother don't nothing. She's laying in bed asleep. He didn't tell her nothing. They know she So he came and got his mother and then barged into his grandmother's room.
All right. So he said, I came and got my mother, didn't tell grandma nothing because we know she's not about that foolishness. And then said I barged into my grandmother's room. First of all, I have never been in that house until Saturday. So I didn't even know which room. The house is a 7 bedrooms. I didn't know which bedroom was grandma's room. My mother and my sister went in the room first. First of all, even though she's my grandmother, she's a woman. And I knew that my mother was saying that she wasn't feeling the best. So I'm not just going to waltz up in the room even if I knew where it was. But I didn't know where the room was. So my mother and my sister Kiana went in the room first. I didn't barge in anything. Oh, you can best believe, yeah, he handed this to us today. Because this is ridiculous. Barge into the room. The other thing is, how would you know that when you were not even there? But he'll admit, let me not talk for him. Let me not talk for him. I'll let him talk for him.
His mother, and then barge into his grandmother's room. He's waking her up, because I'm going to get up. You know, you coming with us. Man, she told him, I ain't going into your hell. Are you coming?
All right. So, he said, I barged in and tried to get her up and said, no, you coming with us. I'll deal with that last part of it in a minute because that last part is just the epitome of this cultic culture. All right. We just established I didn't barge in because I didn't even know where the room was. Then I said, no, you coming with us. That's not what happened. My grandmother, he is right. Grandma had no clue what was going on. And I told my mother not to tell grandma because grandma would have told and they would have locked her down in the house. So when we got there, I went to her. I said, Grandma, we're here to get mommy. She's leaving. This is going to be it. I said, you would probably want to come with us. I said, because you're going to be here by yourself. You know that once we leave here, once we go, we will not. And please, if you're on, share it. Have faith. If you're on, get your popcorn because y'all stupid. So I said, there will be no family here, and you know, once we leave here, we will never be able to come back here. Now, y'all, I told the APS people when I filed the report that 2 things are going to definitely happen. One other thing will possibly happen. I told them that they're going to cut the phone off, because that's what they do. I told them that they are going to trespass me off the property and that they might move her to either New York or Florida. I said this on Thursday before we even get to Saturday. I called Friday and worked out bringing a police officer because every time I go there, there's an issue. So to avoid any issues and to avoid them saying I came being a problem, I brought the police with me. So if I bring the police with me, do you really think I'm going to barge up in somebody's room and I'm going to be the aggressor? But the other thing is my grandmother is a very timid woman. I would never approach her like that. You coming with us. I would never approach her like that. She's so fragile and frail and timid. But so, and again, he wasn't there. He was not there. So let's go. There we go. So he said that my grandmother said, I ain't going into your hell. Are you crazy? Now, there's the problem. Why is it that, first of all, that was never said? That was never said. My grandmother don't even use that vernacular. But fine, let's go with it. Why would it be the consideration that my world, the context in which I live, is considered hell to y'all? As if that's heaven. Because you know it ain't but 2 options, hell or heaven. So, this is the substratum of the way that these people think. Everything out there is cursed and doom and gloom, and you going to heaven and God is pleased with you as long as you're here. That is the top tier of have-faith leadership talking. I'm not going into your hell with you. That my grandma said nothing like that Saturday. What she did say was, I said, Grandma, and I don't beg nobody, but now, I will tell you, as I said from day one, I begged my grandma to let's go. I've always loved my grandma. We always been close. Now, he talking about taking her money. I took her money, but we used to call and talk on the phone every night about our day, her at work, me at school. I remember one time I got in trouble in school. I got in trouble at school. And my mother was fussing, ranting, and raving all day. And I ain't really respond. She told my grandmother. My grandmother said 3 words, excuse me. She said, I'm so disappointed. And I boo-hoo cried. I broke down, cried like a baby, because I could not fathom disappointing my grandma. So my mother got back on the phone. I've been fussing all day. I don't know what in the world make him start crying when you say you upset, when you say you didn't like. And even my grandma used to say, I want you to stop going to school getting in trouble. I don't want you doing all that talking and stuff because you know you're going to get those beatings, and I don't like those beatings. So she would never say, I'm not going into your hell. That's him. He made that up right there on the fly because I'm doomed and I'm cursed and I'm going to die. Definitely now, because I went and pulled my mother out and then blew the whistle on them again. But we'll talk about that because remember he said all of a sudden, we'll talk about that in a minute. Blew the whistle on them again, but this time it's out of all of our control at this point. But they can't handle it because ain't nothing about them ever went viral. For that matter, ain't nothing about me never went viral. All right, so let's go to the next part. The last thing was, I ain't going into your hell with you.
I ain't going into your hell. Are you crazy? So he got mad.
I got mad, but he wasn't there.
Make her go. So
Now, he ain't lying there. I did try to get her to come. I can't make her do nothing. My grandmother is 78 years old or turning 79 in August. How am I going to make her do anything? But I did beg her. Lord knows I did. I said, Grandma, please. Please, Grandma. I said, you know our relationship that we had. And I said, you know that you told me, don't let you die down here like the rest of them. Don't let them do to you what they have done to others. I said, Grandma, you know the things that we talked about. You used to call me before this period of time where we weren't speaking. We used to talk 7 o'clock every morning, you know. And Grandma said, no, I'll find another way to leave. I can't leave like that. I can't go like that. You got to do it the right way. What's the right way when they controlling you? Then she said, and I said, Grandma, they're going to cut your phone off. We're never going to hear from you again. I'll find a way to stay in touch with you. I know. I got it. I'll find a way. That was the conversation. It was nothing about not going into your hell with you. That was never said at all. Phone keeps locking.
So she got to the point where she told him, get out, leave. So now, and the police was there when this happened.
Of course the police was there when it happened because I brought them with me. Of course. This whole phone call is so stupid that it's ridiculous. Of course the police were there. I told y'all that the police were there because I brought them. I don't trust them people. I wouldn't sit in a dark closet with nothing in it with one of them. So I brought the police with me because they cannot be trusted. And I was upset. I was hurt. But I have not, please notice, this whole time, I have never demonstrated anger. I don't do anger. I can't be angry, and I feel anger, but the world is used to seeing an angry black man. That don't solve no problems. Excuse me, I done slipped into Ebonics. That doesn't solve any problems. So even if I was mad, nobody there would have knew it. And yeah, she afraid. They got grandma so brainwashed. They have grandma so brainwashed. And this is why they're so upset. Because they know that no matter what it is that you come up with, all that I have already said has proven itself. But even in this call, he contradicts himself so many times that it's ridiculous. Let's go.
The sergeant, Neighbors was right there when this happened. He was right there. So now he came out mad as ever. And now the grandmother called me.
So he said, I came out mad as ever. Now, the other thing, let me let it play and then we'll talk.
So she was like, fix a break. I
Now, that's the one thing he said that's true. All of this started because of the fact that my grandmother is still there. You told the absolute truth right there, Tyrone Brailsford. You told Senior. You told the truth. But back up. You said she called me Bishop Brailsford. All right. So first of all, you answer your business line. You answer a number that you probably have not ever gotten a call from before. And the first thing you do when he asks you about the cult stuff and all that is you start spilling your guts to somebody that you don't even know. And that don't sound like a cover-up?
He got mad because the grandmother didn't want to go with his crazy behind. And then, so now the grandmother had to end up calling the police on him.
Now, I don't know whether Grandma called the police or not. But the fact of the matter is, the police were first called because I brought them with me. Let's also talk about the fact that he tries to act like he didn't know what was going on.
So that's what happened. See, you have to tell the truth.
Okay. He tries to act like he didn't know. Over the front door was a camera that was lighting up the whole time. So the fact is, they knew we were there, but the other thing that was going on was the police was standing on the front porch. And the other thing is, he said she called me. She called him because Dwayne Johnson, the ringleader, was in New York, unbeknownst to me at the time. All right? And that's it. They won't talk about they won't talk about DeQuanda. They won't talk about that other girl they got in there, Sharice Greer. They don't want to talk. They won't talk about beating, because by the time we get to the end of this phone call and all of the letter that was posted and the other things that have been put up and the text message, nobody would talk about the biggest thing that's being. Now, you're right. My grandma ought to feel like the most loved woman in the world, because I done turned this whole thing upside down over a 78-year-old woman, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't even done. I'm not nearly done. Because the fact of the matter is, every time y'all have an opportunity to not make it any worse for yourself, somehow you never pass the test of don't be a dummy. All right? So you on there tripping up over yourself, coming up with all this stuff that don't sound like anything that is thoughtful or considerate. I would have never thought Tyrone would have involved himself in foolishness. He was such a great man when he first joined Open Door. I was young, so I don't remember him then. But I will say, he had his redeeming qualities. He's right. He practically raised me. I ain't going to desecrate the man like he was all bad. I lived in his house. But these beatings and things happen, and they don't want to talk about that, so they will say anything in order to not deal with the main thing, or one of the main things, because there's a lot of main things, and y'all, let me go on and tell you, listen to me good. Once this investigation gets full going, ain't no telling what else coming out. Ain't no telling what else is coming out, because these people are so crooked and underhanded and would do anything to anybody.
He got so much people believing the lie he want to tell, but he won't tell the truth. See?
He said, I have so many people believing the lie I want to tell. Okay. All right. I need it's 61 of y'all on here. I need a poll of the room. How many people started believing this story just based on me? How many? If you started believing this story just based on me, just put a 1 in the chat. If you started believing this story based on details, put a 2 in the chat from me exclusively. If it was all of the other that made you believe, put a 3 in the chat. Just for my data. Just for me. And I'm going to keep talking. So 1 is if it was just me. 2, if it was me telling the details over the course of the lives. 3, if it was all of the other. Because he's saying I'm making people believe me. What about all these other people that done come out saying that these people have said, and these people have done, and these people have... What about all of them? I remember he used to come by my neighborhood and play basketball with these 2 little boys, and he used to curse. Yeah, Tyrone Brailsford Sr. done cussed us out. I'm telling you, that man looked his son in the face, Tyrone Brailsford Jr., and said, F you. I hate the day that you were born. I can't wait to attend your funeral. Let me give details so you know I'm not making it up. It was about 11 o'clock one night in the building that they call the furniture store, and we were lined up sitting on a rolled up carpet. He told me that in regards to this same child, Daquanda that we talking about, that God would rather see me F myself before dealing with that girl. He said that. So he had an awful mouth. I don't know if he still does, but he had an awful mouth. All right? Let's play the video. We ain't even made it.
Tell the truth. See, me, I'm wise enough not to be like him. I can go in there and blast him and make him look so bad and tell the truth.
Didn't you?
All the stuff that boy did, but I'm not gonna.
I'm wise enough to not be like him. I could go on there and tell the truth and make that boy look bad for all the stuff he done. Sir, maybe you had some sort of, I don't know, amnesia or something. Maybe you were crazy for the first part of this video. But this whole first part of the phone call is you saying all kind of crazy stuff. You called me a thief. You called me, I don't even want to talk about that second one. And then you said I'm an arsonist. So that's 3 big accusations. All right? And yeah, someone just said he has not denied any allegations. Oh, here we go. You know what's crazy? He never denied anything. Instead, he deflected and lied. Okay?
All the stuff that boy did, but I'm not gonna do that. He's doing a good job making himself look like a fool. So I'm let him keep it pushing. Yeah, right now y'all got the internet and a twist about it. Is there any way y'all can sit down and talk?
No.
We don't got nothing. He got the internet. And this ain't his first time.
Whoa. I'm sorry, I stopped it too soon.
Let him keep it pushing. Yeah, right now y'all got the internet and a twist about it.
Listen.
Is there any way y'all can sit down and talk? We don't got nothing. He got the internet. And this ain't his first time doing some crazy stuff.
Hold on a minute. Because earlier he said, I love a good gotcha moment. Earlier he said, how all of a sudden I'm coming out saying that they're bad people. After all of these years of attending all of their events, never happened. Eating all of their food, didn't happen. All of a sudden. But just now you heard, go to the video, 4 minutes and 6 seconds in, he said, this ain't his first time doing something stupid. Let me make sure I'm quoting him right.
Is it the way y'all can sit down and talk? We don't got nothing. He got the internet. And this ain't his first time doing some crazy stuff.
This ain't his first time doing some crazy stuff. Good, Brother Brailsford, the bounce house, blabbering Bishop Brailsford. I'm glad to hear you say that, because what you're referencing is 3 years ago when I blew the whistle the first time and y'all all went blocking me on everything. So how is it then that it's all of a sudden? No, you didn't think at all before you spoke. So we just in the first part. Yeah, and okay, Boosie Boo says he's very aggressive towards kids when they would miss a shot. Definitely. Dwayne Johnson was like that too. And he would ask the little boys, were they stupid? And that's not how you train kids or anything. Because what he would literally do, look us in the face and say, are you stupid or something? As soon as I read that line, I could hear him saying that in my head. But back to the video. He said, y'all just heard, he said, this ain't his first time doing some crazy stuff. What crazy stuff? Brother Bishop Bounce House Blabbering Brailsford. There we go. The Bounce House Blabbering Bishop Brailsford. That's what we're going to call him. What crazy stuff? Because I thought you said all of a sudden. Y'all just shocked. Can't believe. I've been talking about this for years. I Now listen to me. Y'all can go check my page out. I've been going live every Sunday. Been going live on Monday nights praying. Been going live on Wednesdays. Well, I don't go live every Sunday no more. Let me back up. But there was a time. I ain't never went viral. He said he got the internet. I ain't never went viral. Most of y'all didn't even know who, not a tourist, a Mercury Sable. Yes, he sure did. Taurus and Mercury, the Taurus and the Sable are the same car. But yes, absolutely. That young man, Boosie Boo, is telling the absolute truth. Now, I have never single-handedly broke the internet or got the internet in a frenzy or whatever he said. So, you ain't going to put that on me. Let's talk about what got the internet in a frenzy. It's all of these people who have been saying what I've been trying to say for years. Y'all crazy out your mind, and I know you got to be stupid. Ain't even cute no more. I don't even have diplomacy for it no more, because everybody know when you're in trouble. Shut up.
He got the internet in a trust about. That's why his grandmother went down to the police station herself.
Exactly, Jordan. Now, he's acting like this whole thing of filing reports is new. Other people have talked about report. They always filing reports. So whether she did it, whether they told her to do it, the fact is, I told y'all from the get-go, a report was going to be filed. See, the thing of it is, these people are textbook. Everything that they're doing, I fully expect. I told you they were going to start lying. I told you they were going to come out with fool stuff. I ain't know it was going to be this fool. I ain't know it was going to be this fool. I didn't know he was going to be this fool.
Eat your food.
This is what they do. They are patterned after this mentality that they cannot lose. You can hear it all in this phone call. They did make her file a report.
So now he's trying to flip it on us. Your grandmother called me. I didn't even know what they were doing. I didn't even know the fool was even in the house.
There's a camera in the house.
I mean, hysterical.
Let me back up. Okay, let me let y'all hear this.
I didn't even know what he was doing. I didn't even know the fool was even in the house. She called me. I mean, hysterical.
All right. He said she called me, hysterical. She my grandmother. I have never known my grandmother to be a person who responds with great excitement. Hysterical is a reach like never. That's a reach like, that's an astronomical reach. My grandmother is not she's very quiet, very timid, so she called me hysterical. No, you trying to make this sound like it was just this huge, she just wore. Now, was she surprised? Yes. Was she incredibly nervous? Yes. Ariel White knows my grandmother all the way from back, probably when they first came to the church. She would have been young then, but they came to the church in 1989. So by her saying me either, she's confirming what I'm saying in regards to my grandmother. My grandmother is a very low-key type person. Okay? So hysterical is, I can't even picture a hysterical Patricia White. I don't know what that looks like. She don't get razzled. She don't yell. Grandma only beat me one time in her life. She's very, very low key. So to say hysterical is just wild to me. He keeps saying that. Now, he said my grandmother told the police the truth. Y'all, there's a report from when they went with me. Okay? Do you not think that if I was going in being this aggressive, the police wouldn't have asked me to leave or calm down or something? The police was helping my mother and sister put the stuff in the car. And I was in the room calmly talking to my grandmother, trying to rush to get up out of there because I thought sure that they were going to show up any minute. My phone keep blocking.
I already told the police the truth. That's why she went down there and
I told y'all. He said, I'm not going to tell y'all that I have a no trespass. Please, somebody on this live, for the sake of the half-faith people who are watching or will watch later, please somebody let these stupid people know that I told y'all. Well, they've been watching. They've been watching. So y'all know I've already established that they trespassed me off the property Sunday at 5:26 is when I got the call. I said that Sunday night. Up here with a raspy voice, gotta disprove this stupidness because you crazy. Alright, so that's the end of the first video. Let's go to the second one.
And they need entertainment like that to carry on with their life. And they can entertain themselves while listening to some foolishness. Man,
Entertainment?
that kind of stuff. But me,
Do you think people recounting the worst memories of their life is for entertainment? You are the most sadistic, self-absorbed, inconsiderate piece of whatever that God ever created to use the word entertaining. I want to know who been watching this who has been entertained. People talking about getting beat till they bleeding, getting tied to chairs, getting beat with axes, beat with extension cords. What are you talking about? Entertaining. Nothing about that is entertaining. And if you think people are coming around to be entertained, you crazy.
enjoy that kind of stuff. But me,
Enjoy that kind of stuff. No, the reason why you would think that people enjoy hearing this is because y'all used to laugh at how y'all beat us. Yeah, I got him good. I jacked him up. That's Dwayne Johnson. Tyrone, yeah, I had to deal with him. I had to get him straight. But I bet he won't do that again. I bet. Please. This is the stuff y'all used to say and do. Y'all were entertained. Y'all enjoyed it. I don't think the general public that's watching this is entertained at all. I've been reading responses of horror and disgust that the people are listening because they can't believe that this was going on right underneath their noses because y'all good at hiding. Y'all good now. Y'all good. Man, I'm telling you, Halloween come around, ain't no need in nobody trying to trick or treat with y'all because y'all good at hiding. Ain't no need in playing no hide and go seek. Y'all been hiding right in plain sight for 20 something years down here. Y'all good at hiding.
yeah, I'm not going to go embarrass him. He's doing a good job of it. So why would I go, man, when God starts issuing out them punishments?
When God starts issuing out them punishments, there it is. Because this is the epitome of cultic language. God gonna get you. God gonna take you out. God gonna destroy you. God, okay, gotta deal with it. God sees everything. Yes, he does. But you do not use God to inflict fear and control. You don't do that. But this is what they do. This is how they keep people under control.
Issuing out them punishments? I don't want to be in that line. I'll let him stay in that line by himself. I'm not going to go out there and blaspheme his name. I'm not going to talk bad about him like he's doing, trying to do us.
No, I ain't trying to talk bad about y'all. I done dumped the bag and the fact is the bag ain't even empty. No, I done talked bad about y'all. And before I take any of it back, I'll stand on it 2 or 3 more times. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I ain't said all that I'm gonna say. So let's go on and establish that, because listen, the days of being scared for me was over back in September 2013 when I told Dwayne Johnson I ain't a kid anymore. Alright? So I ain't trying, no. I said, and I meant, and I mean, and I will continue to mean, and I will say what I will continue to say whatever needs to be said in regards to these things that have been done. See, I don't gotta lie. The truth is awful enough. Alright? The problem y'all have is y'all have an accountability issue. But let's go on because we got quite a bit to go through and I don't want to keep y'all long.
I'm going to let him sit right out there. The Bible says Judas hung himself.
The Bible says Judas hung himself. Let's let him talk.
Let people that started hanging themselves. You don't got to help them. This long
Sometimes you got to let people hang themselves. You don't got to help them. That's exactly what this phone call is, Judas. You hung yourself. You done spoke on behalf of your business. You done spoke on behalf of yourself. You done spoke on behalf of the organization. You slandered me and you defamed me. And yeah, I'm using legal terms because you know where this is going. Ain't no secret about it. I'm going to file. Fact of the matter is we were going to court anyway. Because there's no statute of limitations on civil litigation. But now that you done brought it to Front Street, and these little things were being whispered and said, and I've been ignoring it. But now you done come front and center on a phone with someone you don't have a clue who it is. Don't know this number from the man in the moon. And look at you with your crazy self. Didn't know you were being recorded. And got the nerve. I can't wait to get to a lawyer on Monday. And to get them papers filed against you, against that ministry, and against your business. Because you said you representing Kitty's bounce houses. This is not, let me repeat what I said from the get-go. This is not checkers. I didn't come to win the match. This is chess. I came to win the game.
This let them hang themselves. Let them talk about you. Let them scandalize your name.
Nobody's scandalizing your name.
That's crazy stuff. Man, Jesus ain't said a mumbling word. They did him like that.
Hold on a minute. Lord, you gotta help me. I'm trying to take this serious. Jesus ain't said a mumbling word, you said. Which that's not true. I wish we would stop saying that. We have 7 last sayings services. And then say Jesus didn't say a mumbling word. But then what was the 7 last sayings? But that catch me on Bible study for that. Jesus didn't say a mumbling word if we were going to go with that, which I just established that's not biblically accurate. But if we're going to go with that, you can't compare yourself to Jesus because you just said a whole lot of words. God, you got to help me. Yeah, the stupidity is almost comical to me. Jesus never said a mumbling word. Well, surely you can't compare yourself to the Savior. Because you just said, I'm an arsonist, accuse me of incest, and accuse me of being a thief. You said a lot of words. Words that going to cost you. I'm not going to go back on there and try to talk. Okay.
Help him. You know, I'm going to let him just keep on talking bad. They always
do it. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Let us keep telling our story. We appreciate that. The funny thing is, we don't need your permission. We do not need anyone's permission to tell stories that are ours. And the fact that you think that you need to give, I'm just going to let them. You see, the reason why y'all losing y'all little mind is because you're not in control of this. And this might be the first time in a long time that Dwayne Johnson, Kareem Johnson, Melissa Pass Brusfoot, Tyrone Brusfoot, Dwayne Johnson Jr., all of them. This might be the first time that Have Faith and its leadership, Faith Johnson, this might be the first time y'all know what it feels like to not be in control. This is how we felt. All of that scared and all of that running and all of that trying to figure out, this is what we would feel going home, trying to think about how we're going to get out of the beating. You know how we used to have to get on our knees and pray before service? I'll be down there praying that God would give you a heart to hear me before you beat me so that I can explain what happened. Everything you feeling, I'm sorry, forgive me, you deserve to feel every bit of what you feeling. The fear, the anxiety, not knowing what's next, not knowing when, knowing the hammer gonna fall, but not knowing, you deserve to feel every bit of it. So we don't need your permission. I'm just gonna let. You didn't let me come on here on Saturday. I did it, because it's my phone.
We're gonna get straight into this mess. Y'all work with yourself.
Hold on a minute, I done got off the video. He said, if you call him, y'all got the number, run it up. Google Kitty's bounce house. He said, if you call him, he gonna tell the truth. I just wonder, can anyone get him to admit to beatings? Can anyone get him to admit? Well, let's let him talk.
Yeah, so on the negative side, as I said, talking about saying that the police people got a investigation going.
And do.
Find out what happened there. Man, look, they got it. Look, the good thing about it, right? Number one, Tim is the sheriff, and he already came, and me and him already talked. He knows what.
Tim is the sheriff, and he said the sheriff has already been out there, and they have already talked. So I don't know, because I can't prove it. I wasn't there. At this point, we need to hear from Tim Baxley. Because according to Bishop Tyrone Brusford Sr., the owner of Kitty's Bounce Houses, the bounce housing, blabbering Bishop Brusford, according to him, Sheriff, he said, y'all talk. You been there. And he on a first name basis. He said, me and Tim. So we need to hear from Clarendon County Sheriff Department because I find it awfully ironic. I didn't know this call was going to happen today. I ain't that good. But it's ironic that yesterday I posted litigation paperwork that was filed against Half Faith Mother Geneva Johnson Academy, and the fact that I heard from a judge one time and never heard anything else after that in 3 years. So there's already this question of, was my case buried 3 years ago? Now he says him and Tim talked already. They've already talked and he knows everything. I'm not even going to touch that. I'm going to let the man speak for himself. Y'all heard it. I heard it.
Me and him already talked. He knows what's going on. That's all that matters. He's the sheriff.
Anybody, somebody, please get Tim. I would like to, hear from Tim in the next 24 hours myself. A statement, a video, something. Because the cult saying, that one of the representatives in the cult saying, hey, I heard from you. Hey, come on, Manning, Clarendon County, get Tim. The sheriff is saying, or the bishop is saying that the sheriff know everything. Y'all done beat us. Y'all done cut communication for my grandmother off. And you saying the sheriff know everything. So, where's the sheriff? I need a statement at this point. This mess I done been dealing with this all week. And now we post about the possibility of corruption. And then you come and say, the sheriff has been out here. And the sheriff and I have talked. And the sheriff know what's going on.
He's the sheriff. Me and him already talked. He already seen the grandmother. The grandmother already told him what happened. And that's all that matters, man. Nothing else matters. All that crazy. I call
So he said,
Facebook
let me back up so y'all can hear.
The grandmother already told him what happened. And that's all that matters, man. Nothing else matters. All that crazy. I call them Facebook fools.
So,
That's what I call them.
you mean to tell me, we talking about being beat? We talking about all of these salacious things that are going on? We're talking about this whole aspect of abuse and control, and you're going to call it Facebook fools? That we trying to get my mother situated and get things straight with her. And you have the unmitigated gall to call it Facebook fools? No, you don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. You don't get to discount people's accounts like that.
Fools. That's what I call them. And let people stay up on there guessing.
This is Ruth, I see you.
Coming up with all kind of conspiracy. Making up. Let them. Who cares? Let them.
So he says,
Fools. That's what I call them. And let people stay up on there guessing
guessing, assuming,
coming up with all kind of conspiracies,
and conspiracies,
making up stuff.
and making up stuff. He said guessing, assuming, conspiracies, and making up stuff. All right. So the folk who have come and told their stories, they ain't guessing. Let me speak for me. I know I ain't guessing. When I can tell you room and time of the day and all of these things that have happened, and you gonna come and say guessing, assuming, conspiracies, who trying to conspire against you? Don't nobody got time to conspire against you. All of the stuff that we got going on in life. Frankly, I got enough of my own stuff to worry about. I got enough of my own stuff to deal with. Add to it now, we have to worry about our mother's stuff. And you think that on top of all of that, we got time to deal with you and y'all and that? But enough is enough. Nobody's guessing. Nobody's assuming. Y'all, the general public has listened to what we have to say and has crafted a decision, opinion, a thought on what they have heard. And you don't get to insult people by saying they're assuming, guessing. You don't get to decide how people think or feel. Okay, so here I feel like he keeps saying she told the police all. She told the police all. I feel like that's supposed to be a threat of some sort. I feel like that's supposed to be like not a threat, but it's supposed to be an intimidation tactic. And the fact of the matter is, sir, now I didn't get to stay on the phone with Yuri, if I'm pronouncing that right, long. But I did stay on the phone with him long enough to handle the big aspects of it. But I'm taking the time to go through this because, no, this is how they think. I remember when I wrote the suicide letter and I fell out in church after the beating. That was the same thing. Oh, we going to call the police. You acting crazy? We going to call the police. They told us if you act crazy. Now, you think them fools would have really called police and I'm bleeding, actively bleeding on my back end? If she went to the police, Saturday, Sunday, whenever, she went at y'all's request. She went because of the fact that y'all required, or maybe she went on her own. But the fact of the matter is, fine, she told the police. I told them too, that's why I brought them. Okay?
So it happened. And here's the good thing. The police was there when it happened.
Duh, I brought them.
Sergeant Nabel was there. So he knows the truth.
Now, what kills me is he's calling this man's name like he just know him so well. And if he do, I don't think he does. But the reason that Sergeant Nabels was there is because I called Clarendon County Sheriff Department and requested an escort onto the property.
That's why everything else, nobody said she wasn't.
And it's interesting to note that he would not say that I brought the police onto the property with me. It's interesting that that's not said in here.
People gonna make up all kind of stuff. Well, I sure hope y'all get that message straight now. It going long enough. People gonna get what's gonna happen. They're gonna get tired of him.
Okay, listen to this good. I'm going to run it back. I'm going to play it and I'm not going to stop it for a minute. Listen.
Y'all get that message straight now. It going long enough. People gonna get what's gonna happen. They're gonna get tired of him. See, all people, it's gonna get played out. They're gonna get sick and tired. And then most of the people find out the truth. Then watch the guy. They're gonna start fighting each other. They ain't gonna be putting attention on us no more. Watch man, God know how to set a hand.
All right. So this is why we got to keep the momentum going. You heard him say it's going to get played out. They're going to get tired of hearing him. Now, let me help you understand, Blabbering, Bounce House, and Bishop Brailswick. I didn't come to just talk in vain this time. So it ain't going to be no prolonged just talking to no end. As a matter of fact, You better enjoy this weekend. Now, I ain't telling you, you know, you're going to go to jail or nothing like that immediately. I don't know what happened. But they are dependent on this getting to a place, oh, yeah, that's just been going on. And no, we can't let that happen. Y'all, it's been going on since 2003 in Alcaloo, but it's been going on since 1995 in Somerton. Okay? So we didn't come with this whole, I didn't start it. First of all, Saturday I went live because I was mad in regards to the fact that my grandmother's love for us was so weak that his fear over her and the fear that she has in regards to Ella Johnson couldn't let her make a decision for herself. My grandmother is coming up in this conversation. And so, now, he ain't lying that I was mad, but he's trying to express this whole deal of anger and rage. No, I was mad to the point that I cried. And I'm glad it was raining because I don't let people see me cry. And then I got in that car. I wiped the rain and the tears out of my eyes, looked in the camera, and I said, and I quote, have faith, war. And I still say, have faith, war. I said it then, I'm saying it now. Because you don't get to keep deciding how people interpret what you're doing to them. You don't get to keep writing a narrative to make sure y'all come out on top every time. And the reason that you're freaking out right now is because of, and hoping it get played out, as you just said, and hoping people get tired of me, as you just said, is because, but I mean, fine, when they get tired of me, there's another, because y'all done so much ugly stuff to so many ugly people. Excuse me. Y'all done so much ugly stuff to so many wounded people. So please, even if it gets played out with me, oh, there's someone else who can come and tell the story. You've seen it. We all watched it play out over the... I couldn't have planned that.
I don't have no problem with you. It's them boys that listen to that fool and all the men. Remember, there's two sides to every story. I don't have no problem with you. I don't have no problem.
Oh, it skipped the video.
If you're broke, if you're broke, and I mean dead broke, then you can't on us no more. Watch, man, God know how to set an ambush. He know how to ambush you and attack you.
We talked about that.
See, when people attack you, you don't gotta say nothing. You don't gotta just let them. Let them go ahead. They can talk bad about you, scandalize. They did Jesus the same way. But God didn't sit back there and attack back. No, let them come. Sit back there and attack back. No, let them come at you, bro. Let them scandalize your name. It's okay.
I'm coming. I don't gotta scandalize your name, but I'm coming.
Watch the end result. That's all I can tell you. Watch the end results.
All right, so you heard it from the bounce-housing, blabbering Bishop Brailsford. Watch the end results.
You stay home and let them be fools. Watch how it end out. Watch how it plays out at the end. We think about it.
We're going to see how it play out. So I just hope it play out in the right way, whatever the right way is. But y'all, I want that mess to stop. That y'all can sit down and talk at one another.
No, they lie.
I ain't talking with nobody.
Well, nor am I.
I let the law handles all the foolishness. You
The
can't
law.
talk to a fool.
The law. I needed the law to handle the foolishness when y'all were whooping our behinds. I can't wait to see the law handle the foolishness of you extorting people out of their money. Because the fact of the matter is, the allegation is you started that bounce house business by getting credit cards in the church member's name. And that there was a big sack of credit cards in your closet that you used in order to keep funding the business before it took off. Okay? So I can't wait for the law to audit your business, to find out where did you get the capital, because you're a disabled vet, 100% disability. They were rolling you to the VA in wheelchairs. I remember you, Elder, bouncing, blabbering Bishop Brailsford. I remember you telling me about how you used to put on a big fur coat and put on these thick glasses so that people would think something wrong with you when you were trying to get your disability 100% in the military back in 2008. That was back when I was in college. See, you done forgot how much. I remember you telling me about how you would go to the lighthouse and see Sister Brailsford. Before that, she was Sister Pass, when Sister Annette would go to bed. And, well, okay. You do with that information what you want to. I won't finish that story. You know what you said. I remember meeting a certain young lady at the basketball courts that at one time was dating someone that you're supposed to be very close to. So, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, hey, it is what it is. My memory ain't short, and neither are my words. I'll never forget, my grandmother and aunts had visited the church in Summerton, and that particular Sunday they had us to drink Remedy, and my aunt got up and grabbed me and my mother and said we were leaving because it was a cult, and that was the early 90s. Well, there you have it. Remedy was what they called this mixture. We didn't know what it was. It was just a bunch of stuff in a cup. It was green. It didn't taste the best, though.
You can't talk to a fool.
Can't talk to a fool. He said you can't talk to a fool. Okay.
You gonna be a fool?
Look, you right. You right. That's why this man just sitting listening now, because he was on the phone with a fool. You sat there and spilled your guts to someone that don't even know you.
You're supposed to talk to him. Let him do all the talking. All I did was...
Jordan, thank you for pointing that out. Thank you for pointing that out. Why would they have you drink it? I don't know. All the members in the church drunk it. They wouldn't know. Well, my sister is back in the conversation. Yeah, he told me to do that same thing when they were trying to get my disability check. Do y'all see what kind of people we talking about?
He put my phone number out there, and I can put my business out there on the internet, and got people calling me.
I put your business on the internet. I put your phone number out there. Now, when y'all watch Uray's conversation with me, Uray is going to say he Googled Kitty's bounce houses and the phone number came up. Sir, your phone number is plastered on the side of a truck. But let me let him finish his point. He want to sue me.
You should know that. I'm a dog, no.
People like you not calling me bad intent. I'm talking about people that call with bad intentions. Talking about what they're going to do. Number one, they don't know the truth.
So he said just now, he's talking about people calling with bad intentions. So now he's trying to make the claim that all these people are calling his number because of me. But the problem is, go back to the beginning of the first video. He said, I'm glad you called. You only one of two people that had the sense to call. But here he contradicts himself again. Yeah, I think I missed a law degree or something. Because, like, you know, if being a lawyer is this easy, I need to go back to school. This root T keep getting mentioned. So let me say this. The T was one thing. The remedy was something else. Now all of it was concoctions of their own making. But T and remedy wasn't the same thing. But no, pay attention now. He said all these people calling him that don't have good intentions talking about what they're going to do. But then he just said at the beginning of the phone call that only two people called him.
So now they're going to talk about how they're going to hurt people. People really believe it.
Let me run it.
So now they're going to talk about how they're going to hurt people.
All right, so that's the end of the second video. Let's go to the third one. This is going to wrap us up for the night.
It's that boys that, I don't have no problem with you. It's that boys that listen to that fool. And all the men, remember, there's two sides to every story.
Three.
Let's remember that.
Three. That side, this side, and the truth. Three now.
Well, it's probably four. You know?
Now, he said there are two sides to every story. I believe, because I ain't the brightest, I ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer. But I believe I have said, bring your truth. You can come to my platform, use your own. Put a statement out. Seemed like to me, it just seemed like to me, y'all would use one of them lawyers to write you out a statement or something, because y'all doing a horrible job speaking for yourselves. But I said, bring your truth, and I'll stand on mine, and we'll see who's left standing. I said that from the beginning. But instead, y'all want to whisper in inboxes and talk to each other.
That's probably for, you know. But anyway, I told you exactly what just happened. And think about how all of a sudden, and people got common sense, right? How all of a sudden you want to come out and make all these allegations.
All right. Anybody who has listened to me speak for any amount of time know I've been talking about these people. But again, he's at all of a sudden. Remember, he said a while back, this ain't his first time doing something crazy. Now we back to all of a sudden, which he started off. Because watch this. When you are a liar, you got to try to remember the lies in order to cover to make sure that the lies are compensated for. Anyone who knows, I'm going to post the screenshots. I've been meant to do it. Where I did this 3 years ago. Okay? So it ain't all of a sudden. Well, y'all had me blocked. Okay, so Faith Johnson told someone that she blocked me because we got into an argument on Facebook or something. Never happened. Or she said we got into an argument. We never had a conversation. She blocked me because of them screenshots. I'm going to do you one better than that. I'm going to do you one better than that because I'm a good individual. I'm going to do you one better than that. I'm going to put the screenshots out from 3 years ago after I get off this live. As soon as I get off this live, I'm going in my iCloud and I'm going to get them screenshots from 3 years ago and I'm going to put them out. Okay? So y'all ain't even got to wait on that. Y'all can see for yourself that it ain't no all of a sudden and we've been talking about this. He said, my grandmother, I love a stupid person. I love a stupid person. It's okay to be brainwashed. That's not good, but it's okay. You have an excuse. I love a stupid person, though, because he said, did y'all not hear him say that my grandmother been living in that house for 30-something years? Pick me. I have a question. Pick me. I have a question. Hey, you, what's your question? How can grandma live in a house for 30 years that only been built for about 10? You know, greater than, less than, equal to, 30, 10. If 30's on this side, 10 on this side, the alligator eats the bigger number. 30 is a little more than 10. I got another one for you. You know, just another little enigma. Just one more. How can grandma have lived in that house 30 years when she's only lived in Alcaloo for 15? 16. If you want to go with that. She came in March of 2010. All right? March of 2000. I don't got a degree in math. My degree is in history. Should have been in law. 2026 minus 2010 equals 16 years. All right, let's do it again. 30, 16. 30 on this side, 16 on this side. The alligator eats the bigger number. She ain't been there 30 years, dummy. You call this man, or this man call you and you just open your mouth being a fool.
People really believe it. Because you know what? Most people are miserable. Your grandmother been living in the house for 30 years. How all of a sudden, you want to come out and act like a fool. Think about it. That woman been staying there for 30 years. How all of a sudden you want to come out and show your butt?
I didn't show my butt. I showed my truth. And I'm really showing my mind. I wish y'all had not forgotten that I can think, and the Lord has blessed me with the ability to remember. I wish you had remembered that. Kiana is not even 30. Thank you, Sister Gretchen. Kiana is not even 30, and the house is younger than her. Kiana 29. Kiana was a baby when we came to, well, darn. He said my grandmother been in the house 30 years. Sir, bro, blabbering bishop, you wasn't even in Alcaloo 30 years. Yeah, WLTX and WIS, we about to call y'all out because y'all been covering this stuff. on your news networks, and I feel like if you can cover when they were building that stuff, you can cover what they were doing while they were building it. Them houses are new. The first one was built in 2005 or so. Okay? So this is stupid. 30 years. Oh, they
Come out and show your butt. And she in her right mind?
Here we go. Oh, beautiful. I love that Mr. Kensington asked this question. The $1 million question on the floor. All right. If we were in church, I would say, this is where you sit on the edge of your seat. I say that while I'm preaching. This is when I'm about to, hit a punchline that I really feel like preaching. All right. For the sake of just for me, scoot up to the edge of your seats. I'm going to run it back 10 seconds, and I'm going to hit play.
Sonny, how all of a sudden you want to come out and act like a fool? Think about it. That woman been staying there for 30 years. How all of a sudden you want to come out and show your butt? And she in her right mind? She in her right mind? Good hell, right mind. Man, that woman can count. That woman can read. That woman read that Bible in and out. That woman will teach you about the scripture. That woman in a great mind. No, right mind. That woman...
I'm going to quote the blabbering bishop. Is she in her right mind? That woman is in her great mind, not a right mind. She can count. She can read the Bible in and out. She can teach you about scripture. Then why does she need a power of attorney? Why is she not over her pension check? Why has the church been over her affairs since 2002 or 2003? That's 23 years. If she's in her right mind. I'll tell you what to do. Mrs. Green, send it to me. And if you've already shared it, cool. Y'all go to her page and get it. If not, send me the link and I'll post it afterwards. Oh, we're gonna have us a good time tonight. Okay, so go back. She in her right mind. She in her right mind. So why does she need all of this assistance? If blabbering bishop, I want you to know you in trouble too. You know you in trouble. You probably already got in trouble. Oh, they had. Let me pause it. They had a good time with you today. All right. So she in her right mind, but the church is over her money.
Hey, man, that woman travels. She just came off.
We know she travels. She went to England with Faith Johnson. We know she travels.
She flies. Man, tell me all right, man. That woman in her great mind. And you see,
She in her great mind. Someone please tell me. Someone please call 911. Someone please tell me. Why does somebody who's in such a good mental state need anybody over her money? Okay. Pick me. Got another one. Why does someone who is in such a good mental state, why would someone who's in such a wonderful mental state? Now remember, the church has been over her money for 23 years. She's now 78. 78 minus 23, that's 58, 55. If she in her good mind at 78, I think her mind would have been better at 55. How would someone who's in their good mind be having a grandson stealing from them who wasn't even living in the state with them? But 23 years ago, I was, 35 minus, that's 25, 15, I was about 12 years old. Huh. Okay. All right. Blabbering Bishop. We love you tonight. Boy, I tell you, you done this. I ain't even mad at you.
she more than just her right mind. That woman do all kinds of stuff. And she was wise enough to realize this fool is at it again. That's why she...
At what again? Because you said all of a sudden. Do y'all see how he keeps repeating himself and then contradicting himself? Okay, that is a beautiful picture of a liar. Tyrone Stephen Brailsford Sr. is a compulsive and pathological liar. And so I'll let the camera finish the story. The video, rather, finished the story.
We wasn't even there when she told him. We wasn't there. He came
Now,
out.
he just said we weren't there, but he was mad, and he barged in the room, and he was mad, and he told her, get up, you coming with us. But we wasn't even there. Speculating much?
House. We just hit her, barged in her room. She told him, you must be
Can't make this stuff up.
going to your hell.
Can't make this stuff up.
Everybody know.
Now, how do you say in one mouth, we wasn't even there, and then the next mouth, he barged in the room. He said, come with me. She said, I ain't going in your hell.
That really knows him, what he's really about. And how you gonna be a preacher sleeping with other women while your wife pregnant? Oh, now.
All right. I'm not even going into this, because I've been gone from there 16 years. How would you know who I'm sleeping with? How would you know this? How would you know who I'm sleeping with? And you in Alcaloo, or in England, New York, Florida, wherever you are, I can tell you where you're not. You're not in my house, so you don't know nothing about my wife being pregnant, or whether or not I was there, or who I was sleeping with. You don't know what you talking about. Okay? Oh boy.
Sleeping with other women while your wife pregnant. Oh, now. Ain't got nothing to do with that. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to tell you who y'all listening to here.
No, ain't no listening to her. I ain't listening to nobody. I just called to get the information. So
Now, you said I'm trying to tell y'all who y'all listening to. But y'all have not just been listening, again, to me. I don't know how to be nothing but me. I could bow out of the whole thing at this point and just let everybody else speak. And you would still have a problem.
people to know. So it ain't no listen.
Well, you just heard it from the horse's mouth. You just heard it from the horse's mouth. That's exactly, I just laid it out exactly what happened. And that's the truth.
Well, we can let this happen.
Exactly what happened.
We can let the red happen.
Hey, there you go. At least you were smart enough to call. Everybody else just went along with what they saw or heard.
Okay, again, he says, at least you were smart enough to call. Everybody else just went along with what they heard, saw, blah, blah, blah. We heard all of that. But earlier, you said all kind of people calling you, talking about what they gonna do. I'm just going by the video. This ain't no speculation. I'm just going by the video. I'm going by what we hear the blabbering, bounce housing, Bishop Bracelet saying.
On the internet. At least you have enough common decency. I respect people
Decency
like
is a
you
rich word.
that got decency and enough common decency to say, well, let me call for myself. Most people don't do that. The Bible says you would rather believe a lie
The Bible
than the
says.
truth. Because a lie sounds better. It feels good. It sounds good. It's what most people want to run with because it's entertainment.
How dare you use the word entertainment when your son said that you handcuffed him to a chair, duct taped his legs, duct taped his eyes, duct taped his mouth, and beat him for 4 hours. How dare you use the word entertainment? You got people that are talking that can't even remember everything because they've suppressed memories, and so they can remember parts but can't remember the full. They can't access the full memory because of trauma. How dare you use the word entertainment? And then you have the unmitigated gall to wrap my God's good Bible around your sorry language and your sorry behavior and this sorry excuse of a conversation that you done gave to this man. You keep the scripture out your mouth for this.
I can tell you, brother, the grandmother herself went to the police station and filed a trespass
You told us
warrant
this.
against him.
We heard this already.
Barged into her room, trying to make her leave out of her residency. And she was so upset, and boy, that lady was steaming. See,
Grandma's
you're
not.
not gonna tell
Let me let it play and then we'll end it.
that. He ain't gonna tell her. He wanna get people on his side because he was mad. Because she won't follow it and they won't listen to him. That's what happened.
Well, we can let me down to get this man. No, ain't no problem, man. You have a good day now.
May the Lord bestow me blessings upon you today. All right, man.
Thank you, sir. Amen.
All right. All right.
All right. So that's the end of the conversation. That's the end of their conversation. Now, you can go on Mr. Kensington's page and you can listen to my account with him, but at the end of the day, you can clearly see what has happened here. This man got a phone call, and this man went into damage control. All right? I have no reason to lie. I have been very vocal about the fact that I have no reason to lie. I have said, bring your truth, and I'll bring my truth, and we'll see who's will stand. And so this tonight was just a little test run, a little conversation based on his rendition of these details. And the fact of the matter is that if it were the case that I was mad about my grandma not wanting to come, I have a right to be. And it ain't if. I was mad, but not to the point that he's making. Not because she won't believe my lies and won't go into my hell. Mad because this cult has been allowed to force families to remain separate for years. Mad because this has gone on so long that it don't even make sense. Mad because after all of the years of me saying y'all were wrong, y'all trying to act like y'all just don't know that I've been feeling this way when I have voiced it publicly and privately. And so, at the end of the day, here's where everything lies. You heard his conversation? You heard what I have to say. Now, I posted and I said to have faith, and I said I would give y'all a good warning. Those who are innocent, you better be figuring life out. Because I can assure you that by the time we get done with them, have faith will be a memory of what used to exist in Alcaloo, South Carolina. Because at the end of the day, there is no agency that I will not call to report them. There is no stone that will not be left unturned. There is nothing that will not be resolved or be done to bring resolution to those who have been hurt, to those who have been wounded, to those who have been exploited. I'm glad to know you and Tim might be buddies. I don't know. Maybe he'll come and clear it up. I will hope so. But at the end of the day, please know that there is somebody who can handle this. And I'm not just talking about in spiritual, because that's what y'all do to get at people. I'm talking about the fact that there are legal ramifications that can be implemented to get to the bottom of this. And they will. I am personally filing suit against Bishop Tyrone Stephen Brailsford Sr. for the things that he has said on this phone to this individual today. And that's gonna happen. This is absolutely ridiculous and stupid. I'm I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. Thank you all for your time. Y'all have a good evening. Well, it's actually now July 4th, 12 a.m. Y'all have a good morning, night, whatever. I'll catch you next time.